Now let us look at the skin glands. So generally we have three types of glands located within the dermis of the skin, and these are the sebaceous glands, which secrete sebum, eccrine sweat glands, which secrete sweat, and apocrine sweat glands, which also secrete sweat. Sebaceous glands are holocrine glands. Okay. Recall that holocrine glands are those glands which secrete by means of apoptosis. So these sebaceous glands, they are located in the dermis, associated mainly with the hair follicles. Because they do not have ducts which will open onto the skin surface, they are associated with hair follicles which go to the skin surface. Alright. So as sebaceous glands, they are branched acinine glands. Okay. So you can see here they are branched acinine glands. Alright. The secretions from the sebaceous glands, they are aided by the contraction of our arrector pili muscle. So when the arrector pili contracts to erect the hair, it also aids in the secretions from the sebaceous glands. Okay. But however, we may find sebaceous glands in regions which do not have hair, and in such regions, the sebaceous glands will have a duct which will open onto the skin surface. Each hair follicle with its associated sebaceous glands, they form what we refer to as the pilosebaceous unit. Okay, so the sebaceous glands, they secrete sebum, which maintains the stratum corneum and the hair shafts, and the secretions from sebaceous glands increase at puberty under the influence of sexual hormones. So this sebum, it also has some antifungal and antibacterial effects on the skin surface. All right. Now let's look at eccrine sweat glands. The term eccrine can sometimes be called merocrine. So these are glands which secrete by means of exocytosis. Alright. So sweat glands in the skin, note that they are all symbol-coiled tubular glands. Alright. So for these eccrine sweat glands, they have a wide distribution around the skin of the body, and being most numerous on the soles of the feet, and they are not found on the lips or external genitalia. Alright. So for the secretory portion of the eccrine sweat glands, it is composed of stratified cuboidal epithelium, and it has myoepithelial cells which will help with the secretions. This eccrine sweat glands, it has a duct which will traverse through all the layers of the epidermis to open onto the skin surface via what you call a sweat pore. Okay, so the secretory portion and also the duct of this eccrine sweat gland has a narrow lumen in comparison to the apocrine sweat glands. Okay, so you can see the lumen here is narrow, it's almost closed, but it's open. So it's narrow. You see the presence of myoepithelial cells which will help with secretions. You see the duct here, it's narrow. So the secretory portions have narrow lumen. Alright, and this unusual stratified cuboidal epithelium is characteristic of eccrine sweat glands. Alright, so the apocrine sweat glands, now these, remember, all sweat glands, they are symbol called tubular. Apocrine sweat glands secrete by means of losing its apical part. From word apocrine, they shed the apical part together with the secretion. Alright, so these are mainly found in the axillary region, the pubic region, the nipple, and the areolar regions. Okay, and we can see here they are mainly associated with hair follicle. So this is our hair follicle, and this is our apocrine sweat gland associated with the hair follicle. All right, why is that? It's because the apocrine sweat gland does not have a duct which will open onto the skin surface, but however they have a short duct which will connect with the hair follicle, okay, at a point just above the attachment of the sebaceous gland. So the apocrine sweat glands are dependent upon the hair follicles for their secretions. In contrast to the eccrine sweat glands, or as a distinguishing feature, these ones they have a much wider lumen. If you can see these, the secretory portions have much wider lumen as compared to the eccrine sweat glands, yeah, which have smaller lumen. And these ones they also have ducts with wider lumen, and the epithelium of the secretory portions is simple epithelium. It's a one cell thick epithelium. All right, now let us look at the clinical correlates. Acne vulgaris is an inflammatory disorder of our pilosebaceous unit. Recall that the pilosebaceous unit is a hair follicle with its associated sebaceous glands. So that pilosebaceous unit becomes inflamed. Alright, this inflammation will block the ducts of the follicle such that we no longer have secretion of sebaceous glands onto the skin surface. Alright, this will result in what's called acne vulgaris. And then cystic fibrosis. In cystic fibrosis patients, they have a defected chloride channel in such that chloride accumulates in their body. Okay, so cystic fibrosis can be detected by salty sweat. So that's the end of our playlist on skin histology. Watch out for our next playlist.